I do.
Oh,
Yes.
I
And
love
it
loquats.
is, I don't know. Well, we've lived here in the same house for 42 years, and it was pretty mature when we moved in. And the hummingbirds, from probably about Thanksgiving time until about a month from now, will be working over the blossoms every single day, along with honeybees. But the thing about hummingbirds is they're out there rain or shine. They got to eat just about every hour that they're awake.
And Councilmember Johnson, it is now 4 o'clock and we are live and we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Welcome to the January 21st, 2021 meeting of the HCOG Board. In accordance with the Executive Order N2920, the Humboldt County Association of Government meetings will be held virtually until further notice. This meeting can be viewed at Access Humboldt's website or on Suddenlink channels 10, 11, and 12, or the Access Humboldt YouTube channel. To make public comment, you can call 669-900-6833 and enter meeting ID 841-4920-7199 and press *9 on your phone. That'll raise your hand and you'll be held, and you can listen to the meeting while you're on the call. When it's your turn, your phone will be unmuted. You will hear a prompt and you can make your public comment at that time, and you will have 3 minutes to comment. At this time, we'll call the meeting to order. And Christy, could we have a roll call, please?
Hey, Supervisor Bass,
Here.
Mayor Jones,
Here.
Mayor Seaman,
Here.
Councilmember Atkins Salazar,
Here.
Councilmember Smith,
Present.
Councilmember Gordon Johnson,
Here.
Councilmember West, Councilmember Mike Johnson,
Here.
PAC members, Councilmember Arroyo, and Kevin Tucker.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. First order of business, we will adjourn as the HCOG Board and then convene as the Policy Advisory Committee. And at this time, is there any public participation?
No, there is not.
Okay, thank you. Has everyone had a chance to look at the meeting records for December 17th and December 8th?
I have, and I will make a motion to approve both meeting records.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Can we get a roll call vote?
Supervisor Bass,
I'll abstain since I wasn't here. I'm sure they're right, but
okay. Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Mayor Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Atkins Salazar,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Gordon Johnson,
Abstain. Unless I'm needed for a quorum.
okay. Councilmember West,
I'll abstain. I missed the meeting.
Councilmember Mike Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
And at this time, we have the consent calendar. Does anybody wish to pull anything? Do not hear anything. Do we have a motion for approval?
I'll make that motion.
Second by Johnson.
We have another motion and a second. Can we get another roll call, Christy?
Supervisor Bass,
Yes.
Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Mayor Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Atkins Salazar,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Gordon Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember West,
Yes.
Councilmember Mike Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Tucker.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, now we move to the action items for the PAC and a application for a regional early action planning grant. And we have a staff report from Una.
Yes, thank you, Chair Johnson. So to follow up on the last couple of months of the updates that I gave you, we have been working on the application for the Regional Early Action Planning money. And the consensus has continued for how to apply that money. So as the staff report summarizes, the primary regional goal is to help get the regional CAP, climate action plan that the county has been working on, to help get that across the finish line, and then help the individual cities adopt that. We're going to be putting REAP money towards the CEQA analysis and helping jurisdictions certify that as they request, and then also help any of them develop their implementation plans of the CAP. And related to that, the money is also proposed to help a coordinator position if the whole region finds that is a continued priority. So this is an idea that Redwood Coast Energy Authority brought up to the jurisdictions just in concept, and jurisdictions were interested, but the cost share was not laid out. So it was at the beginning stages. So if people want to run with that, we can distribute the REAP funding for that. Another really high goal for everyone is to help the capacity of the smaller jurisdictions with any of their planning needs to get them all where they want to be with their housing elements and new zoning and whatever housing planning related stuff they have not been able to do for lack of staffing. The money can also go to consultants for them. And we're going to really work on the equitable distribution of funds, not only to smaller jurisdictions, but to maybe neighborhoods and demographics that have not received much resources in the past. And then we have some required things that HCOG has to do for the COG. Receiving the money, we will do those things with the money, of course. And then also what I don't think I specified explicitly in the staff report is another need that jurisdictions have chimed in on is to help to get help coordinating funding and grant opportunities, and just learn the most effective way to pool that kind of money and to also get help in the next couple of years that the REAP funding is available to help with grant applications and such. So that is the nugget of what we will be applying for, and also to let you know that the Housing and Community Development Department is going to help all jurisdictions revise their applications with no problem. They're expecting to help after the deadline. Jurisdictions revise things even as they continue to change the program. So we're in very good standing as far as applying. But that said, we still have very broad discretion to keep building the program and also understanding the nuts and bolts of it. And that is my job and my coworkers' job, to keep the lines of communication open and just keep the collaboration going. And that's my first part of my staff report. Open for questions.
Does anybody have any questions for Una regarding this item?
I do.
Mayor Jones.
Yeah. Una, I'm very much in favor of this. I know this would really help Blue Lake. What kind of education strategies are you looking for get out to the public. Have you thought about what specific items you're going to promote and how you're going to promote them?
Well, that would all depend on what the cities want. So our goals would be basically to accelerate housing. So it depends if in a particular city, it's the developers that could use some more training and help, or if it's elected officials or staff training. So it's really, I don't make those decisions. I'll be responding to what the jurisdictions need for education and outreach.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I thought it meant more educating the public as to what the program was about, but I see it as also used for educating the staff. So I understand now. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, I had one question that you had discussed earlier about in previous meeting about it being the distribution would be on a regional, not necessarily apportioned by population or whatever, but according to on a regional distribution, as you said, I think I heard you say in this one for lack of a better word, problem oriented or need oriented distribution. Is that correct?
Not sure about the problem or need oriented. I think probably what I was trying to get across there is the need being higher in cities that don't have staff. And the bigger cities have, and the county have even said in our meetings, although they can always use more funding to do more planning, they're more concerned with the smaller jurisdictions so that there are bigger needs where there is not staff. And especially jurisdictions who have, for example, left money on the table because they didn't have capacity to put in grants.
Right. Okay. That's in keeping with what I was remembering from previous meetings too.
Okay. So do you still have a question though? Does that not answer your question?
No, that's on point.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, Una. And
Councilmember Johnson, it looks like we do have someone for public comment.
okay. Thank you for that. Put them on.
And last four numbers are 5603.
Thank you, Colin.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. This is Colin Fisk with the Coalition for Responsible Transportation Priorities. I just wanted to say, and I just made the transition between the YouTube stream and the phone, so I may have missed some comments, but I just wanted to say that I'm completely in favor of the staff recommendation here, and I particularly think it's just so important that HCOG is making the connection between meeting our housing needs and meeting our climate goals, and having this money to help us meet our housing goals in a way that helps us meet the climate goals at the same time instead of hindering them is going to be really critical. So I want to thank staff for their work on this and encourage you to approve their recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Is there anybody else on the public comment line?
No, that concludes public comment.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion?
I will go ahead and make the motion to move that the PAC recommend the HCOG board adopt resolution 2102, authorizing the executive director to request an allocation in the amount of $785,186 execute an allocation application, and enter into, execute, and deliver a State of California standard agreement to secure the Regional Early Action Planning Grant allocation.
Councilmember Johnson will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for this PAC item. We vote, Christie?
Yes, I'll do a roll call. Supervisor Bass,
Yes.
Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Mayor Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Atkins Salazar,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Gordon Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember West,
Yes.
Councilmember Mike Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Tucker.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn or to reconvene as the HCOG board and approve the PAC recommendations.
So moved by Bass. Excuse me.
Seconded by Mayor Jones.
Okay, motion and a second. We have a roll call vote.
Hey. Supervisor Bass,
Yes.
Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Mayor Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Atkins Salazar,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Gordon Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember West,
Yes.
Councilmember Mike Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. And we're moving right along here. We've come to the election of officers and the appointment of a California Association of Council of Governments delegate. And I don't know if Debbie wants to or Beth, but at this time we would be open for nominations for a chair, vice chair, and an executive committee member, as well as the CalCog delegate.
Got it. There's not much more to it than that. So if you have any questions, we'd be happy to tackle them, but I think you got it.
All right. So we will open the nomination for chair with the first one listed. If anybody would like to make a nomination for that position.
I'll nominate Mike Johnson to be the chair. It seemed like an okay thing.
I would be happy to serve in that position. If
In that case, I will be happy to second it.
thank you. At that point, we would have a motion and second. We will, I guess, I can't remember whether we vote on this or not. I would think so.
Yeah, I think you do need to vote on it. I think you can do the whole suite at one time.
Okay.
So you can get your chair, vice chair, executive committee, and then once you've got that all dialed in and you agree to it, then one vote should do it.
That would make it easier to do the whole slate. So we will open the nominations for vice chair, and
I nominate Mayor Seaman.
I'll second it. Oh wait, we're not doing that till the end of this, right?
well, a second, yeah, that affirms it.
If she would like, I don't want to like pen Susan in a corner there, but
So how many more meetings is this? That's what I need to know. I was not involved in the last round, so that's a real question.
Oh, just the same amount of meetings as everybody else, I believe. Christy,
Okay.
if you've got any more information, but yeah, I think, maybe a few extra phone calls, but I don't think there's too many other meetings.
Alrighty, then I will do that.
In the interest of transparency, if there is a executive committee meeting, you will be contacted about that too, because we did have a few of those in the last couple of years. So.
That's fine. I just didn't need to add another monthly meeting onto my calendar, so I'm fine.
No, this would just be your HCOG meeting.
And this is a 2-year term, isn't that right?
It was the last time. I noticed in the bylaws it says 1 year, but this was a 2-year term. I'd have to go back and double check on that.
Yeah, I believe it is annually, but there's nothing to prevent you from, adopting the same slate next year, unless.
Okay, open for nominations for the executive committee member. Don't everybody?
Everyone's looking at everybody else.
I know, it's like, you don't know if it's an honor, if it's throwing somebody under the bus to pick them. So. I'll return the favor with Mayor Jones. If you'd like to be on the executive committee.
Well, the only reason I hesitate is because my internet has been so spotty lately. I'm just really worried that if it's another meeting, I might have trouble accessing it, which it sounds like it is.
Is there anybody who's interested in being on?
Yeah.
Nobody's self-nominating, so. Oh, Virginia.
I haven't been, in HCOG for a long time, so I'd be thrilled to get back into, that'll get me back into the swing of it for sure.
Okay.
And no one else wants it.
Under the bus.
I put myself under the bus. That works.
I will seal it with a second.
Excellent.
And last but definitely not least is the CalCog delegate. I was looking at the information for the CalCog calendar, and it's pretty sparse. There is most everything says to be determined. They've been meeting by Zoom just as we have. There is not the traveling that there used to be.
Yeah, and I see the next meeting in March is in Riverside, which is where I grew up and moved to Humboldt County from. But we wouldn't be going there anyway.
Well, if it's also a 2-year term, maybe in 2 years you could be, or a year and a half.
Yeah. We definitely don't know about next year or later this year.
On saying that, though, I don't want to be the person. Is there anyone else that's interested in this? Let's throw someone else under the bus, as they say. We call it the Blue Lake Railroad in our town. Any interest?
Okay, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Wow.
Really?
Is it? Well, I've been so used to traveling and working around things for the last 4 years with CSAC that it doesn't worry me. But if no one else wants to do it, this is like I have a bad habit of that. And if someone else wants it, I'm okay too.
I will second that motion by Virginia. What are friends for?
I know. I like to be kept busy.
Okay, we have a slate of candidates for chair, vice chair, executive board, and the CalCog delegate. Christy, can we get?
I'm sorry. Can I add one thing though?
What's that?
I know I read in the packet that CSAC actually is supposed to have a delegate also, or that they can, and so does League of Cities. And I've never heard that before. So if I find out somehow that I can be there with CSAC at CalCog, then we'd have an opportunity to have 2 people. But I don't know yet. I just wanted to say, someone else might want to do it too by then. So
I was going to say that might give everybody else a chance to sort of think about it too a little bit, especially some of the newer folks.
Yeah. I'll research that.
Okay. Christy, can we have a roll call vote?
Okay. Supervisor Bass,
Yes.
Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Mayor Seaman,
Yes.
Councilmember Atkins Salazar,
Aye.
Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Gordon Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember West,
Yes.
Councilmember Mike Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. We have our officers for the year, if not 2 years. And thank you. Thank you for all the people that stepped up or stepped sideways. But thank you. And at this time, we will go for the HCOG staff and PAC member reports, starting with the 101 corridor project.
Okay, so the corridor project, the project development team is diligently working to complete the design of the project with a target delivery of February 19th of this year. Allocation of construction support and construction capital funding will take place at the May CTC meeting.
All right. Thank you. And it's nice seeing some work and progress out there with the merge lanes and such as that. Next would be the last chance grade report.
Yeah, so last chance grade, long-term project, the geotechnical work, good progress has been made on the third phase of the geotechnical studies, which is now 99% complete. Caltrans has learned a lot through the process and continues to monitor movement, rainfall, and groundwater to see how that affects last chance grade. The environmental process, Caltrans is engaged with stakeholders on screening all the different alternatives, selecting only those that are most viable and feasible to continue to study during the environmental phase. Some of the alternatives have been considered and eliminated, working closely with the 4 working groups to inform decisions moving forward. Some of the stakeholders that have been involved include tribes, local government officials, partner agencies, NGOs, different businesses, and of course, HCOG representative. Planning on a scoping meeting early this summer. The public can review and comment on the list of alternatives during that time. The current projected schedule is to have a draft environmental document in 2022, which would be circulated to the public in 2023. That's an update for last chance grade.
All right, thank you on that. And just as an aside, on the other project that's continuing up there, how is the fill going on that and the scheduling for getting the road grade bed back in place?
Well, I haven't gotten a recent update, but you may have heard that they've been doing night closures.
Right.
So from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. they close the road so that they can do the work that there really isn't a way to get around, as you know. So in order to raise the profile of the roadway, they need to close the road. So the best time to do that is when it's dry and at night when there's no traffic. So I think it's still on schedule to be completed by the 23rd.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the reports and the progress. And now we're at the 101 safety corridor patrols. How's that going?
Yeah, I can give the report on the safety corridor supplemental patrols. These are extra patrols along the safety corridor funded by the SAFE program, which is the Service Authority for Freeway Emergencies. So in the month of December, there were hours worked was 42.15 of supplemental patrols. That means miles driven 478. And there were 50 traffic stops during the month of December with 14 citations and 36 warnings. Arrests, there were 4 people were cited for driving with a suspended license, and 1 was also cited for a probation violation. And the winners, this is new to me, but I don't know if they should be called winners or losers. I'm not sure yet. But there was a 29-year-old man from Eureka stopped for going 74 miles per hour on the safety corridor, and a 23-year-old man from Crescent City going 73 miles per hour. And then other numerous citations at 65 to 69 miles per hour. So that concludes my report.
I know it seems like whenever I travel on there, there's always getting past anyways. And having known some couple of people that were in a traffic accident on that road, it kind of makes you more aware. Thank you for that. And it appears that we have come to the end of the agenda. We came very quickly through there, and I thank everyone for their participation and for the staff reports. Thank you for the ones that stepped up to serve on the board. And while we don't have to have a motion to adjourn, I will say that at this time, the meeting will adjourn, and we'll see everybody next month. And thank you.
And welcome, Beth and Virginia and Gordon, and Stacy was here last time, so.
Thank you for stepping up, Mike, and being our chair. Thank you for that.
And I did want to say Estelle spoke very highly of Mike as chair, so.
I will have to send her a thank you text.
If you'd like that, she's missing everybody.
Well, then I will definitely do that. Thank you for conveying the message.
See you guys all in a month.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.